Happy 70th.
That's a bad rumor.
Oh, okay. Because they kept telling me something about retirement age or something like that. Wow. Happy early birthday.
Thank you. Well, it is the birthday, but I do feel like 70 sometimes.
I know the feeling.
But thank you. What do you need to see from Sam over the next couple of weeks?
If there's one thing, just to me, is just the consistency, to continue with the consistency. It's been a tough few weeks. We haven't played the way we've wanted as a team. And, I think, again, it's a good opportunity as we just, look at them, focus in on them one at a time and play consistent football.
And when you look back again the other day, what were some of the things where do you feel like he's trusting guys enough to, and is he playing with, I guess, that freedom that people thought Jacoby played with?
That's the thing that when in talking with Sam the other day about getting a chance to take a step back and watch Jacoby, was that he thought that exactly. Was just the freedom in which Jacoby was playing, and and it's one of those things that you think back about a couple of games, and you think about what he did in Denver, and the way he played, and you think of the way he played against Philadelphia, and you say, wow, that's the thing that he's capable of, and that's what you want to see, is that consistency there.
Throwing with anticipation, where does that sort of rank among things for Sam to work on going forward, especially in light of something like Jacoby just kind of seemed to be, like you said, playing a little freer and being a little more?
Well, I think that's something that's that will come in time. For a guy that really this is his real first year of being a starter and getting the opportunity to grow within the offense. I think those are things that will continue he'll continue to learn and have a better feel, I believe, going forward. It's just the anticipation part of it.
And as the fewer games are here, what about playing some younger guys who just haven't gotten in there? I know we've asked this in various ways, but does it become more of an emphasis down the stretch here?
Well, I think we look to find opportunities to get them in there. Obviously, it's a good opportunity for them to show us what they're capable of and for us to see it. And so it is something that we do try to make sure that we find the right opportunity.
Looking at the defense last week, Coach, what are some of the things that you can take away that you like in what they did last week?
I thought some of the communication aspect of the coverages, with the exception of really just the one big miss. We miscommunicated on a switch, and we turned the guy loose. But other than that, you look at the consistency in which they were playing, the way they fought, creating takeaways, getting the takeaways in the red zone. That was big. The way we handled the sudden change in the red zone and forced the field goal attempt. I mean, those are the things that you build off of. I thought we had moments where you could really see the guys getting through some of the things that we needed to do as a defensive unit, and got pressure on the quarterback. So we'll look at those things and continue to try and get better at them.
What do you make of the Jets' offense? And obviously ranked last in the league because of some quarterback play, but they have Breece Hall, they have Garrett
Yes,
Wilson.
they do.
What do you make of that offense, and kind of what do you do to contain someone like Breece Hall?
Well, I think, first of all, they've had to use a whole bunch of quarterbacks, so there's no continuity at that position. But knowing, what that offense is capable of, and having seen it, in full operation when it was in Green Bay, that what they're trying to do, obviously, they're trying to run the ball and control the line of scrimmage, and then off of that, you see a lot of their play action comes. And they do have a really good running game. It's they try to control the pace and tempo. They it's not like they're trying to go 100 miles an hour. They're slowing the pace down. And I think the thing that they're trying to do is just be very steady with their game. But to me, it really starts with their running game.
Hey, Coach. Your players, of course, are professionals at the end of the day, but at this point of the season, obviously, the monotonous of the season, it's obviously a long year and things haven't gone according to schedule. How do you as a head coach keep your guys motivated, or is that something that's more on them at this point?
No, I think, that's part of my responsibility is to get the guys to understand that, this first and foremost starts about, being a professional and showing up and doing your job. Secondly, you're playing for more than just the opportunity to play. You're playing to put out good tape. You're playing to show your teammates that, you'll continue to fight and play. And, you're not going to quit on anybody, and it's that sense of pride that you appeal to.
Obviously, trading Montez and Chase was always going to have an impact. How do you feel the defensive line has been in their absence, and what are some of the ways they've moved through that?
Well, it's been kind of interesting because there's been an opportunity to watch a lot of young guys play. I mean, at one point, we had 4 rookie defensive ends up and Casey, and it gave a chance for those young guys to get some really good experience. We got a chance to watch KJ Henry play a little bit and show his physicality as a run stopper. He's got a little bit of work to do on his pass rush stuff. We think Andre's got a little bit of ways to go. We think Dre's got some ability, but he's got to learn. Getting Jalen Harris and plucking him from Chicago. Here's a guy that showed just he's got a really good head on his shoulders. He's athletic. He's physical, it's just one of those things that when you do something like that, you've got to continue to work and develop it. One of the things that we've tried to do is try to find ways to manufacture pass rush. We've blitzed a little bit more than we had in the past, and trying to create those opportunities. We've run some load fronts, just trying to do some different things, and I think that's part of what we're learning about our guys.
Terry hasn't had the year necessarily that he wanted, but what can finishing the game like he did the other day with 3 explosives, what can that do for him mentally and going forward?
Well, I think not just for him, but for the team. I mean, it is about finishing strong and finishing, doing things like that. And again, we're, going to continue to work it and see if we can find more ways to create those things. And, we're at the point now, I think, where, you should have the familiarity with what we do as a group. And we got to find the ways to be explosive and use them these last few games.
Use him in what way, or different ways?
Well, to your question, find more ways for him to be more explosive.
And what makes the Jets' pass defense a challenge?
First, I think it starts a lot with their pass rush, and then how physical they are at the line of scrimmage. I mean, they've got tall, long corners, guys that are very physical with their hands. And you've got to be able to get off clean and get into your routes quickly. And you just can't win off the line because they come back at you. You got to win on your second release downfield when you're getting ready to make your break when you get to the top end.
I don't mean to compare Sam to Jacoby, but to see the immediate success that Jacoby had when he came in, is that just a product of his experience, or is there something else he was doing that was notable?
I mean, you looked at it. To me, I thought a lot had to do with his experience and who Jacoby is. In terms of that, he does have a little bit of a gunslinger mentality, but he's also very smart, very savvy football player. And and he came out and saw a couple things that he liked, and based off of those things, I believe he went and did those things.
I want to ask you about 2 veterans. Curtis Samuel's having a pretty good year.
Yep.
And then what have you seen from Cam Curl, just from both of them?
Well, I think both those guys have had terrific years for us. They really have. They've been very competitive. They compete. Curtis, really, from the very beginning, has been all in what we do. And he's been very dynamic for us, especially underneath, being that underneath go-to guy, and especially in third and short. He's a guy that shows his tremendous flexibility, and not just being a good route runner underneath, but he's got the speed to get vertical, and he's also a threat anytime he's running the jet motion to get the ball. With Cam, it's just he's been such a steady veteran for us, and he's a guy that has some diversity to his game. He can play in the box, he can play deep, he can come down, cover tight ends, and he can work on some receivers, bigger receivers. He's pretty good, so he's just shown his versatility for us.
All right, thanks.
Cool. Thank you, guys. Happy 70th.
I got to say to start there, I'm going to read from a statement. That was a nice touch.
There's some cake back there.
Is there?
Pictures, man.
All right, where?